What's going on, everybody? Back finally with 3D Printing Sunday. Hopefully, my audio is fine. I was just testing to make sure that everything was going okay. Everybody, let me know if that comes through all right. The purpose of what this series is we take and draw something, pick an item, and draw something in 3D designed specifically for 3D printing. Today we're using Fusion 360 like normally. You can still get this program for free. There's a few different stipulations than there previously was on the personal use license, but still a great option for anybody who's looking to get into 3D CAD design. It's a really powerful program, super underrated for what kind of value they give you for basically free. Anyway, today I had come up with a project that I wanted to work on a while, let's see, last weekend when we were drag racing. And it was, I don't know why, it's like the turbo exhaust that you see, Fender exit turbo exhaust, where they have the bullhorn or just the slash pipe come out of the fender, usually on a ring. But on drag cars, those guys wreck all the time. So I was thinking of trying to make something that has a, what do you want to call it? Like a soft mount or a rubber mount. And I think we can do that easily, and something that might be just a little bit different for a change of pace. Did you know there's a crooked cat on your shirt? Ha 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 ha. What is going on, Mike J? Appreciate all of you guys for coming and joining in. 3D Printing Sunday, not the most popular show that I have. Not gonna lie. Makes it a little bit harder to motivate myself, but I still enjoy it. So it's still, I was in the middle of a project tonight though. I was working on cleaning up my ripper. And so I had to like scatter everything, put everything away so that I could get this show fired up. But here we are. Here is our blank Fusion 360 document. I actually, I don't even, the last time I might have drawn in 3D may have been, oh, we have some buffering issues. Hold on. Major lag. It's, just the good old internet trying to keep me down. We're going to give this just a second to catch back up. But we should, hopefully it catches up here in a second. Pausing. So hopefully this it's still showing my output is bad, but oof. I'm going to stop and okay. Hopefully that fixed it. We'll see how this goes. I apologize for the technical issues, but that's the nature of live video. So anyway, so let's jump into this. This is our Fusion 360 screen. We're going to start by creating a new sketch first. We're going to just start here on the outside. I'm going to kind of just wing this thing. I'm not going off of a ton of reference, and I'm just going to kind of go off of how I am thinking of this thing in my head. I'm going to assume that we're doing something like a 5-inch exhaust in full-size world. But, those turbo cars oftentimes have large downpipes, 4-inch, 5-inch, things like that. Aren't necessarily uncommon, and to make this look like something in our world. So 5-inch in 1/10 scale is going to be half of an inch, so about 13 millimeters. Let's I'm going to grab a measuring device. 13 millimeter, I'm okay with that size. It's large, but we could always scale it too. So I'm going to create this bore first. I'm actually going to select that and turn that to a construction line, because I'm going to have that be the actual exhaust pipe size. So I want to work on the outer ring and what is going to be the mount for my soft mount or rubber mounted exhaust system. We're going to create another ring, and I'm going to give myself 1 millimeter of clearance between them. From there, we're going to give ourselves an outer ring, and then I'm also going to, we're going to create some holes here. Let's D for dimension. I'm going to call those hole sizes like, let's say 1.5. I think I'm going to make this as a 1.5. I think that will be that will work as threads for like 164 hardware if you have beadlock hardware from VP, or if you have M2 screws. Either one, that should work. 5-inch, why so small? I think 8-inch is the norm on pickups around here. Yeah, like the big exhaust. This is when you're doing like Fender exit turbo exhaust, not you know, the big old trash can mufflers on the back of lifted Rams. So let's do, I think this is going to be 5 mil. Yeah, that. Then we're going to do, so what did that make that? That made that 14, and then I need to add 2.5, or I could just do this. Line, construction line, and I'm going to go from here to here, and then there to there. And I'm going to do a midpoint constraint on the center point of that. So now that we've got that constrained, let's do a circular pattern on that screw. Center point is our origin, and then let's do, what do you guys think? 6 screws? That looks right. So 6 screws. Now, what if we do, if we add a little bit more style to this? Yeah, let's do, I'm gonna drop some of these around like that. I'm gonna do this to, we're gonna add some tangent constraints to that. Now, this we can kind of, this is just gonna be for style. So let's define that 20, sure, why not? This will probably make more sense to you in a moment. Okay. Some of you can probably already see what we're doing, but so we're going to finish the sketch, and we're going to select the areas that we want to extrude to become the final part. Let's go ahead and grab those remaining areas as well. Did I select that area or no? There we go. So let's make that, let's go 2 mil thick. Actually, I'm going to put this on the back side of the body, so we have some room. Let's just go 3 mil. So this is basically going to be a backing flange. This is going to be on the back side of the body, and then we'll basically make a beauty ring that goes on the outside. That's going to be the same thing. I guess what I could do really quickly for anybody who doesn't know, I should just do this. I'm going to Google turbo exhaust fender exit. So images, there you go. First photo is a, can't play a YouTube video. That'll get us booted. So, I mean, that's a version of it with like a teardrop, you know. This is, we'll see what this looks like. Oh, on Hoonigan. But you can see they've got like a plate around it. Whatever. But that's what we're going for. So for anybody who did not know what we were talking about. But I'm going to try and make this a 3D printable package that that goes together, and it's going to have a soft mount exhaust pipe in it. I think I'm going to do that with like rubber bands, because I think that's, and again, for anybody who's new to the 3D printing streams, I have a hard time trying to read comments and draft at the same time. So I'm not trying to ignore anybody's comments if you're new here. It's just, I'm not good enough at CAD to do both. How about that? I've been drafting in SolidWorks more lately than Fusion 360, so I also have to like retrain my brain a little bit again. We're going to, and like I said, this design isn't fully flushed in my head. I'm just kind of, I'm going to wing this thing a little bit. Let's go 8. That'll give us 11 millimeters total. The nice thing about CAD is you can kind of just keep drawing and conceptualize these things like this, and you know, get to where you want to be in the end. So now for the actual, I'm going to start drawing the actual turbo portion, or the turbo, sorry, that's not correct. I'm going to start drawing the actual exhaust portion, because I think that's going to help me think this through. So I'm going to create a sketch on the plane. 3D sketch is off. So I'm going to have it come out, and then I'm not going to have this be a full bowl, like a 90-degree bullhorn. Just going to do a slight outward curve to it. And then we're going to add a fillet, something 15, why not? Something like that. I'm going to select this rear surface and hit P for project to give me that line so that I can tie those 2 points together. That way if I modify the length of that rear cylinder, it will adjust my exhaust as well. Same with that front. I'm going to bring that out, and then I'm going to give myself about 1 millimeter or so at this point, maybe half, something like that. We can leave that portion. Oh, I'm going to throw an angle on that. Call it 45. 6 millimeter, just throwing some random. So I'm going to finish that sketch. Now that's just the center line of that, but I do have something turned on in the, if you go to tools, add-ins, scripts and add-ins, in this portion, you can go down to pipe and then hit run or add. And then once you have that, you're back in solid, you can go to this create drop down, and then there's this pipe command that allows you to just select the sketch you drew, and the section size is where we're going to go to 13 millimeter section circular, which is fine for now. I think we can hollow this out in a moment. So like that. Now, we could probably do a cut along that same path, or we might just be able to do a shell. If we do that inside thickness let's do it as a multiple of the width of your extruder. So let's just do like 1.6. So like that. We'll leave the rear portion of this enclosed for now. So there you go. Now, if this is all you really wanted to do, you could, like right now, the turbo exhaust pipe is not connected to the outer part. If you wanted to just make this and print it, bolt it to your body, shoe glue it, whatever, you could just connect these rather than have them floating, and you would have a very simple scale item. You could rotate that thing however you wanted for the look. That's so thick. Yes, Mike J. But being how much RC cars are beat and crashed, I think that's the best way to go. Let's go, maybe you print this at a TPU or something. You want to go down to, I don't know, you want to go to 1.2? Doesn't make that big of a difference, but depending on what you print it out of, maybe it's whatever. Maybe I can upload the exhaust section in multiple thicknesses depending on what works best for whatever you're trying to do. Now, that was the easy part. The hard part is that I wanted to kind of make this, like I said, rubber mounted, call it. So I'm going to extrude that aft section of the, used aft. Who says aft? Don't know. And I actually, I have a different idea than I previously did, and I like it. So I'm going to do this. We're going to add just a flange like this. Three. Lots of us used aft. Do you? I don't use the word aft in daily conversation very often. So, thread an inner ring to secure it. No, I don't want it to thread. I want it to be, I'll show you. This is the purpose of what I'm doing. The purpose of what I'm doing is that I want to take and cut a slot through this. We're going to call it 3 millimeter wide. I'm going to make it no, too far. Yeah, that's fine. 6 millimeters from there. Line X for construction. Make it centered that way. Good. Did we lose all of our moderators? Moose Jaw for moderator. Done. Good thinking. Good thinking, Mike J. So let's go 7 millimeters tall. Now I'm going to take, and we're going to do this as a two-side. Oops, I retract. No, I made him a moderator. So two sides, and we're gonna do symmetric. Whatever, doesn't matter. We're gonna cut like that, but we are only going to do it on the main body, not the turbo. And I'll show you why. Because we obviously need to do it on the turbo, but oh, Alex is still here too, and Ben. See, Mike J thought he was living the free life. Nope. Denied. Our resident troublemaker. He's not that much trouble. Okay, so this is what we've done so far. I'm going to make sure that I can see that sketch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the main body. I'm going to draw that same sketch basically, but offset. L for line, X to make sure it's on construction. We're going to go, let's go 9.5. I think that was 3 millimeters. Yeah. And what did I make it? 6 tall? 7. So there we go. Symmetric, 2 sides. Now, this portion of the exhaust was hollow, so that would make it slightly weaker. So I'm actually going to roll back what we just did, and I'm going to do a pull command. I'm going to just grab that surface and just drag it forward 5 mil. Then I'm going to move that surface back. Now we've got something that's still a little bit more solid. I'm going to go through, add a 1 millimeter radius to all that. Turn that other body back on. We'll add the same 1 millimeter radius here. So, as you can see, we've got this, I'm going to change the visual style for just a second to shaded with hidden lines. That way we can show this. Now, right now I've got a 0.5 millimeter, which I could just change if I wanted to, just right there. Yeah. So you can see that those 2 slots are not aligned. But if you have what my thought is that you'll take and you'll feed a rubber band basically through this slot, through the bullhorn, and then back out the other side. And then what I'd probably do is just wrap it around the flange to keep everything maintained or, retained. Maybe I'll put a, depending on however you want to do that. I could put another flange here, but wouldn't be that hard. I could also make this outer flange bigger, but no, yeah, maybe I'll just make that a little bit larger. But then if you take an impact on the actual exhaust, it'll just push in, like it'll move out of the way. So you don't have as high of a chance of breaking that whole thing off because it'll actually be rubber mounted, and it'll actually be kind of cool. Maybe it'll, depending on the strength of the rubber band or anything like that you use, it'll actually, you could have, it might actually move around or touch. It's just it's a silly thing in general, but why not? That's the whole purpose of what I was trying to do here. This is one thing that there is. What we could do, maybe we're gonna take and do a opening radius on this. You know, you get a good O-ring on this too. That might work. I'm going to do a 1 millimeter radius there. That'll just get rid of some of those hard edges. I'm going to do a 0.5 mil there. That'll kind of give a path for the rubber band, so you don't have anything, you know, trying to cut it through. I think that it'll actually work pretty well. Might vibrate, might move around, like you guys are saying. Bubblegum duct tape zip ties, exactly. Silly design for a silly guy. Thanks, Cameron. But it should self-center, or, you know, sit onto that section pretty. We could make it self-center a little bit more precisely. Let's if I do this, ooh, can I, maybe if I do it, I wonder what a chamfer, if it will give me any better control. Tangent chain, no. There we go. Is that going to work? Negative. Grr. We could do it. I could do it the manual way, but I don't know that it matters. It's so small. There's only a millimeter of gap anyway, so yeah. That's it. That was the design here. So since that, I'm gonna think that this little item is pretty much done. So let's do a comment suggestion. What do you guys want? What do you guys want to do? Come up with a something random. I'm gonna do an outer flange. That was the only other thing I wanted to do. So you guys come up with something while I draw this flange. That. I'm going to go through your guys' suggestions in just a moment. .1, and then I'm going to pattern those around the origin 6 times. Finish. We're just going to make this 2 mil thick, like that. So now you'll sandwich the body between these two flanges, connect it all, done and doner. Okay, going to your comments. No prep. No, it can be anything related. Just something quick for the rest of this stream. You know, this took 30 minutes. It was just a silly little thing that I had, you know, I had thought about the other day and that I wanted to do. So I figured it would be worth doing on the live stream, and whether or not that's true is debatable, but oops, cancel that. Body, there we go. So at least we executed the deal. Wheels, I don't like wheels for 3D printing. That's hood stack, the trailer work. We do need trailer work. I don't feel like I'm mentally prepared to get into that. Rear frame bracket for the element that incorporates light buckets and license plate mount. That's a lot and very specific. Bucket or bench seats for interiors. We did an interior a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago the last time I did this. An intercooler to go with it. That's not a bad one. For the guys who don't run a bit, light bar, make a fold together tent. Oh, how are we Fold the. How would you do the actual tent part? We would just have like all the sticks. How do you make a pipe reduce in size along its length? Um, that's a whole nother thing. That's a not a super easy one to do. Um, did you post the interior up for print? I don't think I did. I'll check on that. Um, uh, I missed it. Why is the exhaust two pieces? The exhaust is, well, actually three pieces because this will be rubber mounted basically through these slots so that if the exhaust gets hit, it can kind of move in or fold in. And then it's, yeah, maybe it'll vibrate depending on how stiff of a rubber band or an O-ring you use. Lots of options there. So, or I think someone said, yeah, this just push you'd have to use a really thin zip tie, but it's a possibility. How about a scale microwave to go along with the washing machine? Can't remember, do we already have HD jack stands? No, but there's so many jack stands, I feel like. Make a full exhaust kit. But like for what? It would have to be, that would be difficult. You'd either have to make it for one truck or let's do something silly. I like these silly ideas. Or a fridge. Kind of like that. Highline RC says a refrigerator. I'm going with that. I don't know why I like that. Any household appliance. We're doing a fridge. Highline RC, or if somebody else said it too, I don't know. But we're doing a refrigerator. And I'm just going to we're just going to kind of go through it. This is a ridiculous project, and that's the whole point, right? I am going to look up, let's go to bestbuy.com, and we're going to look up refrigerator. Refrigerator. $549. I mean, that's your go-to refrigerator, right? I mean, I think that's kind of like the stink. 21.9. We do need a smaller one. 18 point. We're just going with the easy, right? Old style fridge with the big metal latching hand. Oh, those are cool, but way hard. 50s style most. Yeah. 50s refrigerator. Those are definitely cooler. You can actually still buy these. Sign up. Okay. Specificate. Oh, look at that. That's what we need. Okay. So this is going to be 6.5 inches by 2.8 inches. Whoa. Yeah, 6 net, 2.8 wide. Yep. Okay. Then we're just gonna, let's do an arc. These actually have a bit of an arc to the top. So we're gonna make sure we get that there. Line, construction. Need to make that a little bit more gentle, maybe like 5. That's still a little bit too much. 3. Okay. There's that. Okay, this thing has a total depth of let's just do the back part first. 2.7 inches. Something like that. A little bit of a, we're just making that rounded shape there. Oops, sorry. Okay, the only thing it doesn't tell me is it doesn't tell me the actual portion that, okay, I'm gonna have to look at what these photos look like. Do they have one with the door open? Do they have like that? Nope, okay. Door all the way to the bottom. There we go. So we're safe to cut this thing like that. Let's do 4 millimeter walls. Okay. Oops. It took away my -5. There we go. Okay, now let's do the divider between the two. Define a distance. Yeah. I know that these are ridiculous projects, but sometimes they're fun. 50s refrigerators usually had one door. Oh, I think I do remember that. You know what? This is a, what do you call it? Like a newer version. Retro modern. So we'll go with a single door because that's even easier. Let's do that. I said 27.5 or 27, 2.7 deep before, right? Oops. Are the door hinges going to be bearings? They've got to be bearings somewhere, right? We have to figure out a reason to use a bearing. I don't know why. Yeah, at least this helped me stop me from having to do ice in the door. So now let's do. Now, aren't the old 50s refrigerators? Don't they have? I need one that's open. View all images. So yeah, I see all the single door, but I need to, what did the refrigerator freezer portion look like? I don't know. And we're almost reaching the limit of how much I'm going to look for it and just make up my own version. Yep. Nope, we've hit it. I'm making up my own version. So we're going to do a bit of an inset freezer portion. Yeah, that's about what. Line. And we are not even going to worry about all of the dimensioning. Something about like that. Just like I thought like the ice. Yeah, that looks good. So now let's do a, we're going to put in some rungs for shelves. I would definitely print this thing, print this thing laying on its back, print up. Then you won't have to use any support. I think 2 shelves is going to be plenty. And these are just going to be the supports. We're going to print the shelves themselves separately. I know a lot of you guys could care less about stupid scaled things, but sometimes these are fun. Why are most people's comments getting retracted? I don't think most people's are. Or why are people's? Oh, only people can retract their comments themselves. If you see retracted, somebody did it themselves. If you see, you can't see if they get deleted. That's a moderator can see that, I think, only. Two, 3 millimeter, yeah, something like that. We'll let's see. I don't want to mirror that yet. I'm going. Probably needs 3 though, doesn't it? And we'll do a drawer version. Oops. We'll do a drawer version on the bottom. Equal. Yeah. Yeah. That, and then, yes, we're going to mirror that feature. Mirror plane will be the right. There. Got it on both sides. Do you need a shelf in the refrigerator? Is that right? Can you design some scale beer bottles for the fridge? We probably could. So we're going to do chamfer on those. So I think that will look best. And then we're actually going to just go ahead and do a chamfer on the bottom too. Don't need shelves if there's a keg in it. The shelves are crooked. That one cuts deep. Can you make the freezer all froze over to the point you can't fit anything in it? Oh my God. We're gonna do our shelf. I'm going to hit P for project on that surface just so that I can bring that down and make sure I have something to dimension to. I'm going to give myself 1 millimeter of clearance around the sides. And back, not necessarily as important, but we're just going to stay with 1 millimeter. And then in the front, I'm going to take it about, we're going to go 5 millimeters past the edge there. So that, then I'm going to go, we're going to go inside by -2. Okay, I'm going to hide that original body. So it gives us, grates need to go front to back, correct? Yeah. So now let's do a rectangular pattern. In that direction. How about that? Yes, I didn't do math and get fancy or exact, but there. I mean, we could do let's do paint, glossy. Do we have a, can we make this a more, that's a better color, right? So do that. We're going to grab that. We're going to create a copy. We're going to go down, I think 25. Nope, not 25 for sure. Oh, 29 maybe? Yes, yes, yes. Then we're going to do that again. Create a copy. Got that. Do we need a tray in the bottom? What do you call it? How did you copy it? If you use the move function and select an item, like just select the whole thing, then there's this thing at the bottom that says create a copy. So when you drag it over, you just get another one. Quite handy, right? Now that's the same STL, so I only need to upload that STL one time, but it's an option. So let's do a tray. I'm going to hit P for project to grab that surface. Then we're going to turn off all of, well, just, let's see. Turn off those for now. Let's turn them all off. Now, let's do one there, one there, one there. Let's stay back like, well, I'm going to delete that. I'm going to turn on I'm going to hit P for project, and I'm going to grab that line, which is just the edge of that grate. And we are going to do, I'm going to give myself like 1/2 of a millimeter is all, but for a reason. I'm going to hit finish. We're going to drag that up to about there. But we're not going to hit join. We're going to hit new body. Hit OK. We're going to shell it. And I'm going to hit 2 millimeters. Turn it into a drawer. OK. But then we're going to put face on it. What is it? A vegetable crisper? Go inward like that. There. Now, grab it. You can. This is dumb. I know. Let's see. Can you explain projecting when you start to design? When you started to design the shelving? Yeah. Let me. I'll try to explain it this next time that I use it more, because we'll definitely need to use it again. So let's start with the door. Let's start on the door, and this I'll start talking about projecting. So we're gonna create a new sketch. I'm gonna select the face, and now I'm gonna hit P for project. So now what that allows me to do is select a face or a shape of some sort, and then it will bring that shape or the outline of that shape into my sketch for me to use as elements in the sketch that I'm about to create. So I just selected that whole thing, which is the face of this, of the refrigerator, and I can hit enter, and now you can see all of those purple lines. If I turn off that original body, you can see I still have that shape there. So, which is perfect, because like for me right now, I'm just gonna hit finish, and then I'm going to select both of those. And then let's make this 10 millimeters thick, like that. But I'm going to make sure that I'm hitting new body rather than join, so that it becomes a separate part, because it's going to become our door. So now we have that. Now we have this whole thing. A thick door. These 50s doors were thick. So we're going to hit fillet and select that face. Something like that looks. Why does the freezer look dirty, shadowy? It's like the smaller, older freezer styles, right? So now I just did like a fillet there. I believe that these freezers actually, or these refrigerators actually had more of a curve to it though. So let's do that. I'm going to create a new sketch on the bottom. Then I'm going to grab and create an arc, 3-point arc, and I'm just going to go center point, and the tangent. And then I'm going to hit P for project again, grab that whole face. That'll give me the rest of the outline. And now I'm just going to create those, or grab those 2 sections we're going to cut through it. And then I'm going to put on, why does it not want to do it now? If I key it in, it's letting me that, which is fine. Can I go to 5? Yeah, it'll let me do 5. So now that whole door has got that more of a rounded face to it, which looks better. Definitely more retro. These things always had like the vertical handle, right? That you kind of like pulled out. We do need to create the hinges and then that that are you going to make it hinged so you can open it and close it? Yes. That is what we're going to try and do now. Hidden hinges would be best, right? Not as easy, but more interesting. I'm gonna grab the whole body, and then I'm gonna move it out a 1/2 millimeter. Just to begin to give myself some gap there to work with. Top of the door not matching the main part. It matches, it's just I think you're seeing that the curve in multiple directions all playing with your eye, unless you're saying that the real ones don't. I'm just trying to see how the real ones were hinged. Most were horizontal. Yes. Okay. The only other thing is that we do need, this is a minor detail, but I'm going to select the face, and then we're going to take off a small sliver of the front door so that it doesn't drag. Cut that through. That way it only has a little bit. I'm going to put a small fillet around the bottom to clean it up. So how are we going to do this hinge so that it's one constructible without ridiculous little weak pieces? And they were external side hinges. Oh, that's the best news I've ever heard. External side hinges it is then. So let's do a construction plane. We're going to select the bottom, and I'm just going to drag it up 10 millimeter. Give us a good place to start. Now, most people have 3 millimeter hardware around. I would use smaller hardware, but the head of a 3 millimeter screw, like a socket head cap screw, is 5.5 millimeters. So I think we can go with we can go 6 millimeters to give us something conservative. Where did that just go? Why did it go all the way over there? This refrigerator is pretty big, so I'm not that worried about the new Vanquish scale hardware. I would totally use that, but you know what? I'm guessing that not everybody bought that already. So you know what? I'm not going to be mad at them for it either, because obviously I don't expect you guys to buy everything that I have a part in. I appreciate those of you who do. So we're going to do a bit of moving around. I'm just creating some line work. There we go. Dimension that at 0.25 millimeters. We're going to split this 0.5 millimeter gap. It'll be large, but it'll be the best looking scale refrigerator you currently have. So let's do a inner of, if we're gonna, let's make this one the bottom one. So let's make this one 3.1 millimeters. And then it is going to just creating some line work too. Well, that's odd. Why does it not want to attach? Well, that's just dumb. Do I have a small? Oh, I do. That's why. There was a small line segment there that was fighting with the other one. This is just going to be a small section of brick. Oh, I thought it would let me use that projection, but for some reason it's not connected. Okay. So we're just going to go 5 millimeters down. That'll be only attached to the base itself. Hey, Josh, do you think you will have this printed by Wednesday's live stream? It might. It's a possibility. So that. Actually, I'm going to adjust this up slightly. I'm going to take this to -12. So that raised that up just a little bit. And now we're going to hit, I'm going to make a new construction plane from here, but up 1/2 millimeter to give us the gap that I'm looking for. Then I'm going to, do I want to project it? No, not really. I don't really need to. This is only going to be 2.6 millimeters on the inner, and we're going to add some do equal that and that. And just going to do a tangent constraint on that vertical line. Project on those two surfaces. That'll give me that line there, that purple line that just popped up. It's not making that connected. Oh, that's why. Missed a line segment. A line from here to there. Oh, getting a little laggy. Okay, let's save real quick before we lose this. Okay, so now we're going to go up 5 millimeters again. It's only attached to that. Can you draw this, but like better? Oh, oh, ha 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 ha. And join. You know what we could have done? Let's do this. I have an idea. We're going to edit that first feature we did, and we're going to hit new body on it. And on this last one, we're going to do the same new body. But the reason we're going to do that is so that I can grab both of them, hit create a copy, and then we're just going to drag them up. But we're going to do two things. We're going to drag them up to here and hit OK. But now the thing is that currently the screw is supposed to go up from the bottom into the top one, but that would be difficult with this. So before I join it, I'm going to grab that and we're just going to drag it onto the top. Is that a 0.5 millimeter? Let's see. Negative 10.5. Yep, it is. Okay. So now the screw will go from the top and in. Hollow those out for bearings. So now we're going to hit combine, and I'm going to select this and the base. And I think it might only like that. Oh, I selected the wrong one first, so it took my color away, but there we go. Now we're going to select this and that and that. Okay. So support city. I don't think so. Well, I would not print it. I would print it with it laying on its back, and then your printer should easily be able to print that. Especially if we just add a bit more of a fillet here. 11 mil. Yeah. So 11, that. Now the only problem is the door. Since it overhangs out, yeah, you're gonna have inset the inside of the door. Yeah, to make it kind of seal in. That's a good idea, Paul. So we're gonna do that in a couple. So we're gonna select the inside edge of the door first. And then I'm going to go in and hit P for project, select that face. That will give us what the inside of the refrigerator is. And then from there, I can take that whole thing and inset it negative 2.5. Maybe we just go 2. Sure. And then we'll bring that in 2 mil. Or I could bring it out until it's tangent. That's what you're probably saying, huh? Hey, print out the refrigerator, send it to me, and I can pinstripe it. Oh, pinstriping is awesome. So if we what I don't know is let's just do a sketch to oops. I'm going to do a sketch on the bottom to double check. So you can see I still need a little bit more. I'm just going to hit. There's probably a better way to do this, but this is the easy way. Another 1/4 millimeter is what I need. So I'm going to go adjust that to be Oops, I did not mean to edit the sketch. I meant to edit the feature. I went 3.25 now, and that should be perfect. Awesome, it is. Anyone else smell something burning? Mike, are you having a stroke? So now you'll have support on the refrigerator around those portions, but that's much less and much less to deal with at least. So should print a lot easier. I would print this with the door flat. Granted, with that much curve, you're gonna see the like the layering a lot more. If you print the door standing up, it's gonna look better, but you are gonna have all that support material. 6 one, half dozen the other. Depends on which way you want to go. For the door, I would maybe print it standing up. That way you get the best finish. But on the refrigerator, I would print it with it laying on its back. So, you know. Oh, did I have a Oh, I was lagging. I see. Well, my bad. Oh, we still need to do the handle. The handle. I need to Google it because I don't have a great idea what it looks like. Vintage refrigerator handle. Hopefully everything's back by now. Are you going to make this file available? Yes, this will be, I will get this all uploaded after the stream. All right, so the handles are pretty simple looking. I'm gonna make it a separate component and then we'll have it drop in. Oh, and there's like a little, there's like a divot where where your hand reaches in to grab it. I see. Okay. So I'm going to that looks about like the line of where that handle would go. So I can move the handle to wherever it needs to be. The handle better be functional. You're crazy if you think that's happening. I could draw it. It's just whether or not that would actually work in. Hey, Isogen, $2. Appreciate it, sir. This stream rarely does much on the donation side, so I appreciate it. Long tapered and lifted off the face of the fridge. Yes. So we're going to do that. 2 millimeter there. This is all just I'm just drawing it first to try and figure out something like that. Let's do something. Okay. This is going to get cut vertically, but oops. Something like that. How's the size look? Not the worst thing I've ever drawn. Not the best, but let's go. These handles were pretty big, weren't they? Wait, horizontal? I thought it was vertical. These are vertical handles, right? The old ones? Well, we'll make it so you can do it either way. 20? Like an inch long handle? That seem reasonable? Just like that, but horizontal. I swear. How do you donate money like that? I feel like it's like I think it's called super chat in the I always just do it from my phone. I have no idea how to do it from the computer, I'm not gonna lie. 10. That's a 30 millimeter long handle. An inch and a quarter about. Yeah, that seems reasonable to me. I don't know why. The most reasonable, unreasonable thing ever. Hey, thank you, 949. I appreciate it. And James Bush. Thanks a ton for these. I reckon I'm fairly proficient with Fusion, but I still pick up tons of tricks and shortcuts. Hey, cool. Let's say undo. Oops, we need to grab that too. Got to make this 3D printable. We're gonna better throw some color at that door now that we're starting to look like it's definitely not in the right spot. I totally agree on that. Don't worry. And I know some of you guys are saying horizontal. I don't. Which way? Because I feel like I want to inset this and put the little hand divot. So we need to know horizontal or vertical. Mine is horizontal, horizontal. We had vertical. Okay, so it was both. Definitely horizontal. I've seen both. Huh. All right. All right, we're going horizontal. I've seen more people say horizontal. I don't know. I see horizontal. I'm looking at the photos above. Horizontal, horizontal. Wow. Okay, most of them I see are horizontal. There's one vertical, but mostly okay. It's horizontal now. Hey, thank you, Robert. Can't wait to print this out like this. Also, handle should be horizontal. Okay, well, somebody said it with a donation, so that makes it so. Appreciate it, guys. That, and now let's move it inwards. Oh, we may have to adjust. Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust a couple of things. We're gonna hit OK, but we're gonna go back, hit edit. I'm going to go to 4 millimeter there. That gives us a little, let's go 4.5. We're gonna edit that move. About like that. Does that position look okay? I think that's pretty close to some of these photos. Okay, we're going with that. Now we need to do a, I'm going to, which is the door? We're gonna hide the door for a second. We're gonna create a sketch at that point and then turn the door back on. Oops. And I'm just, hold on, turn the door back off. Now I'm going to project that surface so I have it. And then hide the handle. Offset it by 0.5 millimeter. Okay. We're going to select both of those. I'm going to cut that like that. We're going to leave the handle off. If we have the handle off, it automatically excludes it from the cut on Fusion. Like if I turn this on, then I can make it not cut it by using this drop down on the right and turning it off. But if I just turn it off here, it does the same thing, even if I go back and turn it on. So that's handy to have, and it's easier than sometimes going through that drop down. So simple and effective. I feel like I want to tighten that up a little bit. I went with 0.5 millimeter. Let's go with like 0.2. This will probably be a glue in type thing, just because I don't want to try and work with hardware that small. So, but I think that looks pretty good. So now I want to do the handhold, but this on a curved surface like that, it can be kind of a pain. So I'm going to create a sphere. And we're just going to do, ooh, that's a pretty good size. I like it. Okay. Oops. That was a 20 millimeter sphere. So the reason that I'm doing that is because we're going to take it and we're going to move it until it collides with the door where we want. Center to the handle. Pretty close. It's not exact, but it's pretty close. Center to the handle. I feel like that's a little bit too deep. Maybe about like that. No, we're going back in. We can always pull it back. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do is it with the combine joint? I'm going to do a cut. So rather than normally combining, we're going to do a cut. Target body is going to be the main one. The tool body is that sphere. And then we're going to hit OK. And there, you see it put our divot in the door. Let's throw a radius around it. 2, 3, something like that. Do we need to move it over just a hair? Does it? Yeah, I feel like it needs to be slightly more on-centered. On-centered? Negative, oops, 0.5. That looks better. Now, when you have the edges turned on, everything looks more abrupt. But if you go to visual style just shaded, you can see how it looks like that. Oh, is it too deep? I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. I think it looks all right. No, I think that'll be fine. I've definitely seen worse. Less deep and move more toward the hinge. To the right side? I just moved it to the left. I thought it should be centered on the handle. Okay, let's adjust that. Let's go to a 25 millimeter sphere. And then we're going to edit. We're going to move it out by 1.5. Another one. About like that. I think that looks good. I like that. Not quite as deep. We made a ridiculous refrigerator on 3D Printing Sunday. Is there, let's see, visual style, we're going to go back to shaded edges. So if we select this and that, and then we select our rotation, oops, nope. We select those two things. We need to set the pivot at the center point, but then we can take and, oops. There we go. So we got that. Do this guy. Oh boy, this is the least successful part of this stream. Axis. There we go. So there's our opening refrigerator. We did everything in an hour and a half. That's not bad. That's not the worst thing ever. Oval, yeah. You guys aren't getting an oval opening, I'll tell you that. I would have to, what would I have to do? I guess I could have done that with a torus and then the whole thing, but where are the scale Bruce? All right, we're gonna do that. That's the last thing we're doing before we leave. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do it on the ground. So let's do someone has to have what's the diameter of a beer bottle? Diameter of beer bottle, what tells me the diameter? 61 millimeters. So 6.1. Now, actually this, let's see. Profile. Can I find the actual profile of a bottle? Here we go. We're gonna save this image. Beer bottle. I don't know why we're doing this. So insert a canvas. We're gonna go insert from my computer, desktop, beer bottle, and I need that face. I'm gonna hit OK for now. Now I need to go onto the canvas. We're gonna do right click on it, calibrate is the thing, and then we select two dimensions that we know. So we know the actual outside dimension. So we click those 2 points, then I click 6.1, and now it has scaled it for me. I could make somebody a Country Club 40 model, but that is not what I was here to try and do. So, we're going to try and account for things like that. We're going to throw some radii on here. One. Wow, Why did that not want to work as a radius? Edward 40 hands. Oh, high school. Oh, high school. 2 there. This needs to be 6.1. Oops. Wow, these actually turn out to be pretty. This is going to test your 3D printers. Not my problem. So we're going to finish that sketch. We're going to do a revolve, profile, that axis, center. And we're just going to, you're not getting a fancy cap, I'll tell you that. Join two-sided. Whoa, man, 0.5 millimeter gets. That definitely needs more on the bottom, huh? Whatever. Now, where's the... Why do I not see my... Is it modify? I need my pattern. I'm drawing a pattern. There it is. Rectangular. Bodies. Select. We're going to go 3 one way, 2 the other. So what did I say they were? 6.2. So can I do 6 point? Oh wait, that'll do total. So I need to do 6.2 times 3 is 18.6. 19? Oh, too much. Sorry. 15 that way. Okay. Ridiculous. We've done it. We have done ridiculous things. We're going to hit A for appearance, just because why not just show you things that don't matter. Glass, textured, and then glass with bubbles. Frosted light. We're going to do that. We're going to edit that to have a somewhat reasonable. It's definitely too red. Where's brown? I'm bad at colors. Matt knows this. I don't know. Is that the color of a beer bottle? If this video doesn't get demonetized, I don't know what will. Done. refrigerator, stocked poorly. That's STL Sunday. I am going to get these finished and uploaded for you guys tonight. That way, if you really would like to 3D print yourself either the more important one, which we did first, which was the functioning scale exhaust, not functioning, but the moving soft mounted scale exhaust. Yeah. This was what we did first. For anybody who's here now who wasn't here before, thank you to everybody who gave donations. I appreciate that, especially on STL Sunday. This is multi-piece. This part will go on the outside of your body. This piece will go on the inside of your body. You will screw through there into it. And then you'll have a rubber band or O-ring that goes through this portion of, we're going to do a cross-section analysis. Okay, and I'll do it based off of that plane. So the idea is that the rubber band or O-ring will come through this channel and then in through the center part and then back out. And this will actually pull tight against the body or against that, like that. So if you take an impact to the outs, oh my God, I'm sorry. My bad. I always forget what I'm doing. This was the scale exhaust. Outside flange goes on the outside of the body. Then there's the inside portion. And then the turbo part is separate as well. So the O-ring or rubber band will go through this, through that portion, and then back out. Then if you have an impact to the outside, it will actually push the exhaust into the mount rather than wanting to break it off of the body. Or if you have it on, a crawler and you use like a light rubber band, then it should kind of theoretically kind of vibrate around, possibly. Maybe it will look decent in video. Maybe it will not. I think that it might. I think that it could actually be of use to people who like these types of things. Yes, I will be uploading all of these parts to Thingiverse. These will both be separate files. Thingiverse is linked in the description of this video, and all of the parts will be up there in, I don't know, hour or so. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so that's the point there. That's the only thing that may delay me, and the fact that Thingiverse takes forever to process files now. But you'll have the refrigerator and you'll have the exhaust uploaded shortly. Anything else? Yeah. Have you done big rig stacks? Those would be sweet. But what for? I have not before, but should be pretty easy. Did you give away the truck yet? Nope, it's being finished still. Suits will have the body soon to finish painting, and I'll have all the metalwork wrapped up before too long as well. Josh, do you scrub off the bonding agent of your new tires or don't worry about it? I don't worry about it. I just run them. And so, he did stacks and a rack a month or so ago. Did I? Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Totally forgot about that. Good thinking, Mike J. Yeah, I didn't even remember it. But yeah, hit the like button before you leave, guys. If you have any other questions, I'll go till 7:45 my time, so 3 more minutes. Air fryer is a must, Josh. Popcorn. Oh, the air fryer for the Instant Pot. Yes. How's Sookie doing? She's doing pretty good. She got her cone of shame. We kind of took it off today, so she's been pretty good without it. So we think we might let her out and about again, which will be good. Pleasure meeting you last week. Hey, thank you for saying hi as well. Always fun. And drag racing was a lot of fun last week. I had a good time. Kind of 3D printer do you have? I've got a number of different ones, but honestly, the ones that I would suggest right now is just pick yourself up an Ender 3. I think I might have even linked in the description below to one. $250, something like that. You can pick up a 3D printer now that's going to be pretty nice. So more no prep accessories. There's no shortage of them, right? So it just depends on what we think of. So yeah. But yeah, if you guys have anything else, let me know. Let's call this thing a night. I appreciate everybody for showing up. It was good to be back for STL Sunday. You know, I'd been gone for a while, but this was a good one to get back to, and I enjoyed it. I had a bunch of stuff on the bench that I cleared off to do this thing, and it was good to get back. What's happening on the trailer? I know I need to get back to it. I have like a mental block for that, so it's one of those things. A little bit of a mental block, but we'll get back to it, or I'll finish it one of these things. So hit the like button and go have fun. See you guys later. Thanks for joining. Good times.